Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by the REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me, as always,
Erik Icarus.
Eric.
Yes, sir.
You can find us on the gram at REC Podcast. You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast, and you can follow yourself.
Gulag_J_Wielden, where I never post.
Yeah,
Sorry, kids.
You never post, but you can look at old posts.
You can look at old posts.
Yeah, I mostly just post comics on mine, and sometimes
I think you should transfer what you do on yours to the REC one.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You do a lot of good stuff on yours.
Yeah, you're right. I just
I'm doing both.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk about this off camera.
Yeah, that's a good point.
How you doing, man?
I'm great.
Good.
I'm doing okay, man. Just hanging.
Yeah.
Doing what I can.
Yeah.
Yep. Lighting fires, breaking hearts.
Well, that is the world that we live in, with the heartbreaker, the life taker. We had a good week if you're a extended universe comic book fan. Friday we had the Falcon and the Winter Soldier debut, and spoilers. Let's just go ahead and just get spoilers out of the way right now. Okay, spoilers. I freaking loved it.
Yeah,
of course. How could I not? How could I not love it? It was kind of the slow burn that I wanted from an episode. However, the series is only supposed to be 6 episodes, and I'm a little concerned about that because I want 9 out of it just to at least get the same length, but that's fine. It was a longer episode, though. Yes. It was longer than what WandaVision was doing. But it was really awesome to see Bucky and Sam just kind of in their everyday lives. Like a little bit of like what's going on with them.
Right.
Obviously I loved it. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. It was a stark contrast to WandaVision.
Very much so.
WandaVision, this being a slow Falcon Winter Soldier, us calling it a slow burn compared to WandaVision slow burn, it's a tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
It's very, very different. But this is what I kind of needed. I needed this pick me up from that kind of slow burn, dour almost WandaVision, which appreciate it. It's definitely my favorite show of the year thus far. I will say this about Falcon Winter Soldier. I love how we got a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Exposition, but it didn't affect the action.
No,
it punctuated perfectly throughout the show.
Yeah, we're seeing Bucky. We know that it was great that they didn't have to answer this question. I just kind of assumed, but it was nice to hear when they were saying that part of his pardon is going to see a shrink.
Yes.
That he's got to, they got to make sure that he's not the Winter Soldier anymore.
Right.
And it was great because this guy is responsible for a great many travesties and atrocities.
Yeah.
Atrocities, yeah. And it's like, hey, but you helped save the world, and we're going to do you a solid.
Yeah.
We didn't find. It's almost like, hey, and we also didn't find you. Like, we should have known that they were doing this to you.
For sure.
It's a good way to get some peace for him to an extent,
right?
Because he's completely haunted by what he had done as the Winter Soldier. We see him making a list of and it was great because it almost looked verbatim like Steve's list of like things to read and watch and see or listen to,
right?
And he's trying to make amends for the wrongs he had done as the Winter Soldier, and it was just heartbreaking, him going through the things, and to your point about the exposition, he's explaining that kind of to us, but through his, hey, I've been taking my notes, just like you asked. I'm trying to make up, so he's telling us while he's reaffirming with his shrink what he's doing.
Right.
So it was a great way because then while he's saying that, we're also seeing some action, that's going on that he had done.
Yeah, totally. Which was funny.
He helped get some Hydra people into office, so he's helping bring them down.
Yes.
And the rules. He has 3 rules. I don't remember what all 3 of them are, but one of them is not to hurt anybody.
Yeah, so no killing.
No killing.
No loving.
And we see him I thought he's hanging out with this older Asian gentleman. I thought it was maybe an old war vet of his, or old war buddy. But spoilers again. Turns out, as the Winter Soldier, he had to kill that dude's son. He was in another country on business and just saw the Winter Soldier do something, and no loose ends.
That's terrible.
And so he's
when will the hate end?
And he's going through. He's having dinner with this guy pretty often, and he wants to come clean that he is the one who killed his son, but he just He's just afraid to do it because they are kind of chummy,
Sure.
you know?
I mean, nothing stops dinner conversations.
Yeah,
like, hey, I'm the guy that killed your son.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I'm sure, when OJ said that to Ron Goldman's dad.
Yeah, I'm sure that dinner didn't go well.
He's like, don't give me that look. So you're just mad because I killed your son.
Oh, God.
You know what I thought was cool, though? Let's rope it back to the beginning.
Yeah, go for it. I've already lost control.
I liked how they brought George St. Pierre back.
Yeah.
And I always forget.
Batroc the Leaper.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love how these TV shows are giving us these deep cuts characters from the MCU.
Because
didn't expect to see him again.
As serious as these movies are, especially the Captain America movies after one.
Yes.
They feel like kind of they're in the Bourne,
Absolutely.
franchise feel like they could be in that
Winter
universe.
Soldier is aside from Avengers, is probably at least 2 or 3.
Yeah,
it's
up there.
There.
It's up there. Definitely of the solo movies, it's
absolutely
1 or 2. It's up there. But they having these things that connect. That's what makes it feel like a comic.
Yeah,
like that's what's still. So it's cool to see Batroc, and we could see him again because he gets away.
He does.
Great fight scene, great action off the bat. Sam Wilson helping the military try to take down Batroc, who had kidnapped somebody.
Mm-hmm.
This great aerial scene, which apparently Batroc has unlimited helicopters because there was a lot. There was a lot more helicopters than I thought were going to happen. I didn't see 4 take off, but I definitely saw 4 explode. So, but yeah. Good heart, great use of the wings. I mean, I think that when we saw Civil War, and we saw Sam using his wings in so many different ways, oh my God, it was like, oh, I've never seen this.
Yes.
I've never seen the wings used like this. It's a great way to kind of get some Stark tech and something from the comics, throwing in that Ultimate Universe again, because that's really where we see that style of the Exo wings.
Yes,
is from the Ultimate Falcon. But yeah, being able to see those lines makes it feel like a comic book movie, but again, they're taking it seriously.
Sure.
This is not some Schumacher Batman or whatever. This is a real, when you're in Gotham in Batman and Robin, like that's like no place that ever exists. And you're like, oh, but that's like a comic. Well,
yes and no.
Yes and no, yes. But it's nice to get some place where you're like, oh, this feels like a real place.
Right.
Whereas
for sure.
when Batman's driving down the arm of a statue, like that doesn't
that's
feel
not
like
going to happen.
Yeah.
What I thought was another cool thing about the beginning with Falcon's storyline was that there was like this sort of thing where they couldn't pass the border.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it was kind of putting this time limit on what he was doing, so it was upping the tension a little bit.
Had a Top Gun feel to it.
It totally did. And I love that opening scene with Falcon and his sidekick.
Red Wing?
No.
Oh, yes. His the guy who's like the liaison to the military, who was strong, like throwing him FU eyes,
Oh yeah, he was giving him bedroom eyes for sure. You were getting that too, right?
I was getting that too.
Yeah, I thought we watched it
separately.
Sam. Yeah, we did watch it separately. And I was like, I was definitely getting maybe they're gonna work this in somehow.
Yeah.
And Sam's gonna have to break his heart. It's gonna be like that scene in American Beauty, where he tries to, kill somebody. He's like, whoa. You got the wrong idea here.
Yeah,
that guy's gonna shoot Sam Wilson in the back of the head.
Oh my God, I hope not. I love Anthony Mackie because I feel like Anthony Mackie is really putting all his eggs in the MCU basket.
Sure.
Because the guy's a fine actor.
He's going in a different world. He would have been the new Will Smith.
Ooh,
he has got that charisma.
He does have that charisma.
He's got the acting chops.
Just that charm, that smile.
Big time.
Papa Doc in
he
8
is
Mile.
Papa Doc. Who knows after the MCU sunsets for him, maybe he does go on to do some big stuff. I see big things for Anthony.
I mean, this is already big, and I feel like I want these guys to be happy.
Oscar.
Ooh,
I'm thinking Oscar stuff for this guy.
Okay,
I think he's going to be great. But so getting out of the Falcon storyline and going into we kind of were talking a little bit about Bucky Barnes' storyline, how he's seen a shrink and trying to make amends for the past and kind of giving his stories.
Yeah.
It actually gives you a very down the middle thing of like how these two work.
Yeah.
How their styles of operating are.
Yeah.
Sam is very much like, I'm going to take as many people alive as I can. I don't want to hurt these people.
Yeah.
Bucky is very much like, I got to get this job done.
Yeah, I got to get the job done.
What?
And he tries to be really stealth. I mean, Falcon got caught on that plane.
Yes.
Just,
oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah. And we get, I didn't realize it until just now, is that these 2 shows in particular, it's like, were we going to get a Wanda or Vision solo movie? Probably not.
No.
And how else were we going to get these characters fleshed out? Because Cap gets 3 movies to himself. Iron Man gets 3. You know, the big,
gets 3, yeah.
Thor's going to get 4, but it's going to be more, on Jane. And how are we supposed to get to know these characters?
Right.
And I got to tell you, this is a great way to do it because you don't have to take too much time. And with these characters, for the most part, it's low budget effects. The exception of the end battle.
Man, I don't know, man. The Winter Soldier opened up with that.
It did have great action.
I was even saying, wow.
But you can do a lot of hand-to-hand, I think, is more what I'm getting at. Yeah,
that's
you're
why
right.
You don't bring in GSP and not have some good hand-to-hand,
Yeah.
Backtrack. Another funny thing I thought was, we do see Sam relinquishing the shield.
Yes. So he gives it to the Smithsonian because he feels like it's it belongs in a museum.
It belongs in a museum.
Yeah. And the Smithsonian's like, hey, thank you. Like, this was the right thing to do.
Right,
and I mean, technically, it's not Cap's to give. It does belong to the government, technically.
So,
but, he didn't have to give it up, but he just couldn't wrap his head around keeping it.
Right.
Which I'd have kept it.
Cap gave him, when Cap tells you to do something, you do it.
Yeah.
And yes. But I get the mantle. Like, hey, I don't know if I can shoulder this responsibility of being Captain America.
Yeah, I couldn't just have the shield and be like, oh, hey guys, I'm Captain America, which will come up towards the end.
Do you think this might be? I don't know. I might be reading too much into this. Do you think this might be a comment on the way that we kind of see the world as like, can a minority be Captain America? Is there shouldering a responsibility to that as a minority? Do you think that's a scary part of maybe how we as Americans see change? Do you think there's a little bit of a commentary on that? Because I feel like there is.
Yeah, and I think, in our last episode, we talked about how there's going to be this road trip comic where we're going to be seeing people that represent Captain America, it sounds like, in all the states. Do
you think the Texas one's going to be Captain America?
Captain America. Marshall America. I don't get that feeling from Sam that he's like, oh, I can't do this.
No. I don't think that's like his character, but maybe the writers maybe like, hey, maybe there's something here about this. Like maybe the concept of, change in America is scary to some people.
I did not pick up on that personally.
I mean, obviously he's going to get the shield back.
Yeah.
Take up the mantle.
Yeah, I think it's going to be funny if this whole John Walker thing is a whole red herring.
Yeah.
And that they're just going to show up and they're going to just mess him up and take the shield and then we'll never see him again.
I'll be pissed though.
Yeah.
Because I am a John Walker fan. I love the U.S. agent.
Yeah, U.S. agent's dope, and we're bearing the lead there, but we'll come back to that a bit. We did get introduction of the Flag Smashers, a terrorist organization with at least their leader, or at least their big gun, is definitely enhanced.
Oh yeah.
We see him stomp out the, he smashed out not Rhodey, but Sam Wilson's buddy.
Yeah.
The military liaison. Really.
Well, Rhodey was in this, right?
And Rhodey was in it. Yeah, they were talking about how there was going to be the big Avengers cameo, and it was Rhodey, not in War Machine armor.
Yeah, just Don Cheadle and crutches.
I know it didn't look like he had the robot legs, which was interesting.
No, that was weird.
But he's going to be having his own show with Ironheart. They're going to be doing the Armor Wars. So,
yes, which is going to be great.
Yeah, which again, I'm so excited. Like Don Cheadle deserves so much.
Don Cheadle deserves the world.
Yeah,
I love Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle's great in everything he's in, and then just kind of seamlessly came in and redefined Rhodey. Like that. Like, we all forgot about Terrence Howard real quick.
I like Terrence Howard. He's cool, but he wasn't Rhodey, man.
Yeah?
You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah, oh my God.
Was that a good Terrence Howard?
No, no. But I know that it is Terrence Howard, so I guess it is. Like, I get what you're doing, for sure. You are conveying the thing you're trying to.
But, what were we talking about? The Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
Very cool concept. I liked where they're going with this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of going to take up, where maybe Hydra left off. There's a new terrorist group.
Yeah.
Why not just call them Cobra and get it over with?
Right.
Which there is a version of that in the MCU, or the Marvel 616, the Serpent Club or whatever.
Yeah, the Serpent Society.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Serpent Club meets on the weekends. All right? They meet on the weekends. I'd like seeing Sam Wilson's sister. And,
I forgot about the shrimping boat.
Yeah, the Gen A. Yeah, the shrimping boat thing. Like, I like that. I like that even he can't get a loan to secure.
Right, even though he saved the world.
Yeah, it's like, hey, again, just another inequality thing. Murderous Winter Soldier is going to get off on all this, and then Sam can't even get a loan. It's ridiculous.
And again, how does he was on the pay. Oh no, he was an outlaw for a while, but he wasn't on Shield's payroll for a while.
No,
but then he went off and.
But I mean, right now he's working for the military, so like he should be able to
get a paycheck at least.
He should be getting something.
But yeah, I think all in all, it was good.
Yeah,
I cannot wait for next week.
Yeah,
and obviously we get the introduction of John Walker,
and we get John Walker at the end. It looks
very funny.
Smithsonian gave them gave the government back the shield. It seems like, and then they are trying to shoehorn in a new captain. Which one of my favorite lines from the post-Civil War book after Steve Rogers died, Tony says it to Hawkeye, and I love it. And I got to say it to my wife. I feel like pretty effortlessly because she said something to the effect while we watched it. Why would they do another Captain America? And I was like, because America needs a captain. And that's what Tony said to Hawkeye when he tried to get Hawkeye to become Captain America.
And then Clint does.
Yeah.
Say no.
Yeah.
He says, you almost had me.
You almost had me, buddy. You know? Yeah, you know, they want a symbol, and they made mention of, especially like with the Flag Smashers, since half of the population came back, they did talk about how resources are stretched.
Scarce.
They're scarce. So they're kind of in rebel against this. We're seeing that there's different, outsides, and we got no Zemo.
No Zemo.
There was no Zemo. We got 5 episodes left. No Zemo yet. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen there. But Captain America is back, and he is John Walker. We'll see if he's the super soldier version. I believe I read somewhere once that John Walker actually was a meta as well. Like he had super strength, but that might have been a retcon. He's juiced. I think initially he was juiced, and then I think they might have retconned it.
He was just born with
it's just metahuman. Just has super strength or something. But I can't remember. I may be blending. I was telling my wife the other day I've been like blending comic book stories. I'm like, wait, no, they didn't happen there. Need that alpha brain. Alpha brain.
I did a big line of it for came on the show, actually.
But I am so excited. It was a nice change of pace. Like you said, just very different from WandaVision. And it was a great change of pace. Very excited.
I'm glad that we got it, and I'm glad that Marvel gave us the Thinking Man's TV show first, and then okay, kids, here's your action.
Yeah, here's some good action where you're going to get some espionage, you're going to get some mystery, and that's going to be fun.
And it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Just hang on, kids. We're on the ride with you.
Now,
to the meat.
A little indie project came out as well. Known as Zack Snyder's Justice League, or the Snydercut. We've talked about it at great lengths. I have not been excited about this. I would even say
outright protested this.
I've protested it because I don't like the precedent and it sets. And it was like a 4-hour and 2-minute endeavor. I had to watch it over a few days. One of the days I tried to watch it, I couldn't because it was playing, but the sound wasn't because so many people were streaming it. It was creating problems with HBO Max, which is always a good sign. Always a good sign if you're a content creator provider. You want your service to crash because everybody's watching.
It happens to us all the time.
Always, yeah. I really enjoyed myself. It was a fun movie.
Yep.
It's like I said, it's 4 hours, and if you guys don't remember, initially they were going to do 3 Justice League movies, and then they were going to just do 2, and then unfortunately Zack Snyder's
got the one.
Yeah, well, Zack Snyder's daughter passes, it derails. Somebody at Warner Brothers was like, we just got to get this out. They made it one film, and you guys saw that. Everybody who watched Justice League, they saw it. Not impressed. There were fun parts to it, but very few and far between.
We did watch this together.
Yes. And I enjoyed it. It was much better than I thought it could be. The rendering was pretty good. It was a solid B in that rendering department. I'd say it was 85% done, maybe 90.
There were some funny scenes.
There were some funny scenes in there.
The Flash saving his girlfriend scene was pretty funny. You could tell him about how you thought it was funny how he grabs what's his girlfriend's name?
Iris,
Barry grabs his girlfriend
and there's
sets
this
her down gently while the car accidents is happening.
This car's rushes this red light or something, and again, spoilers. And hits her car. She's getting launched out. He saves her very gracefully. But then the car plows through this intersection, and I think it hits more cars, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm probably never gonna watch it again. But I was like, oh my god, like he didn't stop the accident from happening, which he had time to do.
Oh yeah,
he just like saved the girl.
Yeah, and they all these mangled bodies behind him that you don't see.
It could be. The movie ends up being very much about Cyborg and about the Flash.
Right.
Now, Ray Fisher. We have to talk about Ray Fisher. He's the elephant in the room a lot of times. It's been documented. We've talked about it, how his allegations against Joss Whedon, and it sounds like Joss Whedon's a piece of crap, and this and that. Hey, if you cut my main storyline out of Justice League,
I'm gonna be pissed.
The movie, like I said, it's a lot about Cyborg and Flash, and it's interesting stuff. It's very well written. It's very fleshed out. And yeah, it's like a Cyborg origin story. So if you thought this was going to be your big break, all your stuff gets cut, and this guy's a piece of crap to you, I'd complain too.
I'd be mad.
I'd complain too.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that's why, but I think if in your head, because the other Buffy alums, they never said anything.
Right.
Because, they were worried about their careers. Let's be honest. They're worried about their careers. Well, Ray's still at pretty much net.
Yeah, he got nothing to lose, really.
So why not do it and do some good?
Exactly. He's the real hero here.
I have retracted my distaste for the accusations. I've apologized, and I think I get it. Cyborg the character was so good. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed the Cyborg story. It was really dark. The one thing I will say, I really enjoyed the levity of Whedon's, but
it had no business in this movie.
Like Zach's does work. It's got, like, his vision does make a lot of sense for this film. One of the big things that was removed was that Darkseid's actually in it. We've been seeing Darkseid in the trailers. It's been all over the internet. Yeah. But Darkseid is in it. There's a much greater battle scene when we see Steppenwolf fighting the old gods and everything in the Whedon cut. In the Snyder cut, it's actually Darkseid. They bring up the anti-life equation, which is deep cuts comic stuff. Again, when Zach does adapt from comics, he does a very solid job. So we get more of that. We get to see more of the armies of men and the Amazons and the gods like coming together. More of that Green Lantern. He's actually like involved in the fight a little bit more. And while the action's not completely rendered, it's not bad. Like, the only reason I noticed it is because I don't know if and maybe everybody noticed it too, but I thought it looked not completely done, but it looked good. It looked really good. It was a long, extended fight. We got to see Atlan from Atlantis before it sunk, fighting with his trident. Yep. Zeus and Ares, and they really just mess up Darkseid.
Oh yeah, they do.
So like, I don't even know why he would ever come back to this world because he got jacked by just a few.
Yeah.
And so it didn't make as much sense to me. Well, it wasn't a good measure of Darkseid's power.
Right. I think things were. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're trying to make it seem like the old gods is OP and Darkseid's out of his element. That's why he's coming back now. Yeah. That these heroes now are less of a match for him. Like, I'm coming back now. I can take these people. Let's circle back. I think a lot of the opening scene was great. Mm-hmm. Kind of my first impression of it was, this was amazing.
Yeah.
We did say we're gonna give it a fair shake.
Yeah. And, guys, I have no problem being wrong when it new comes information. To this. With new information, great. I'm not married to. Yeah, I did not like the Whedon cut very much.
I didn't either. But the thing is, they had too much story to tell in one movie. Like you said, they probably wanted to make this a few movies.
Yes,
but there was no way you were getting all of this in one movie. That was the problem.
It's ever more apparent to me that when Zach had to leave, when they brought Joss in, they were just like, make this one movie. We're
it
done.
Was basically damage control at this point.
This is Warner Brothers meddling. This is Warner. I don't want to put Joss off the hook, but I bet you. Look, we know how good Joss Whedon is when it comes to this stuff.
Oh, big time.
Especially comic stuff. And I mean, there's only what it ends up being is Joss adds a few things just to make all of the cuts he had to do.
That's what it is.
So because there's a lot of that Whedon cut in that movie.
Sure,
there's a lot of it in there. Yeah. So it's just more. Again, more action. Yep. Better action. It's way darker, way more violent.
Right.
But it's fun.
This is the DC I want.
This is the dark
This
DCEU.
was the yin to the yang for the MCU.
Yeah.
You're going to get more of a darker character development in the DC realm. I will say I did enjoy a lot of the cameos we got in this movie as far as characters.
Okay.
Might as well just jump in with this. The Martian Manhunter does make an appearance.
Yeah, he makes an appearance, but it was like he didn't need to be in it.
He did
and it wouldn't bother me. Yes, I was fine to see him. Yeah, I was fine to see him.
We did speculate a long time ago that the general that was there was
In
like,
Man of
we
Steel.
all said that is Martian Manhunter when Man of Steel came out.
Yeah.
He looked good.
Yeah, he looked fine. Yeah, he looked fine. Not fully rendered, but fine enough. The voice is really, always the big seller for Jean.
I think it was kind of creepy how we kind of shapeshifted into Martha Kent.
That was weird.
To go see Lois Lane.
Yeah, that was
hit
weird.
on her.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the energy was strange.
The vibe
there too.
was weird there, man.
Yeah,
oh, my son's dead. I need comfort.
Yeah, it was quite strange. But we're also reading way too much into that. But it was definitely like again we watched it and it was just it was some strange energy. I didn't care for the portrayal on that part. Go ahead.
But no, I'm just saying like I to your points, darker, more action, and in the Whedon cut, it very much makes it seem like Batman is the be-all, end-all hero in that movie. Comes up with the plan to save the world, and everyone follows Batman. In this version, it's Cyborg.
Cyborg, they're following a lot, but in that final battle, it is Batman's plan.
But, in the Whedon cut, like, Batman's the one that figures all of it out.
Yeah, you're right. Cyborg is far more integral in, like...
Big time. And we loved it.
It was so good. Like, Ray Fisher's Cyborg is really good.
And Ezra Miller bringing that levity to a DC movie.
Yeah.
Not an easy feat. He does it.
I was surprised that I figured it was a Joss Whedon thing, but that Pet Cemetery joke that was in the Whedon cut, that was a fun joke.
It was.
I liked it.
I don't think it was in this one.
It's not in it at all.
Yeah,
they don't even reference it.
Because Superman fighting the Justice League fight, that was redundant. But, a little different.
Yeah. Just a little. Most of it was there.
Yeah,
the ending is what was way different.
I like the Whedon cut version better.
Yeah, when he picks him up by the face.
Yeah, do you bleed?
Yeah.
Because in this one, Lois is in town.
Yeah, she's just there.
Yeah. Shows up. It's not like...
Well, I mean, it is in Metropolis.
Right. But, she's like in the vicinity.
Yeah, she's in the vicinity.
Like she's bringing coffee to one of the guards at the monument. Mm-hmm. And she's like, one last time.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that meant.
She was going to start moving on with her life because she hadn't been back to work at the Daily Planet.
Oh, okay.
So she was going to quit going there every day. She was going to start getting back to being Lois Lane.
Lame.
There was a pregnancy test that we saw, which is alluding to, and we'll talk talk more to that later, but alluding to her being pregnant.
Who's pregnant?
Me? Am I pregnant?
Me? But did you like the changes in the fight? Because it seemed, again, not a fan of that fight. It looks cool. Just, it makes the other Justice Leaguers look very useless.
Yeah.
So useless in that. And
I mean,
I can't get behind that, man.
For this world that they've built, I mean, they really did. And even, what's his name? Cyborg puts it together like, the mother boxes have been active, but they didn't alert Steppenwolf until Clark died.
Right.
Like they know, like, Superman is way OP he's OP in the comics,
right,
but he's way OP in this DC universe as
right. Well. But it's just, I don't know. I felt like Wonder Woman could at least give him a little more run for his money.
I would like to see a better Wonder Woman
for.
Superman fight,
right?
But maybe we can still get there. Maybe we can still get. I don't know, because right now there's no talk of # restore the Snyderverse.
No, but I don't know. You've obviously, I'm hoping you all watched this movie before you jumped in here, because I've been talking spoilers like crazy. We get to the main fight, the showdown with Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
And what do you think, man?
Dude, the fight was great. Yeah, super fun. It was more violent than the Whedon cut. I didn't like the redesign as much on Steppenwolf in this version. His head just kind of grosses me out, because the Whedon one was very more humanoid.
Sure.
And it was like a helmet.
Yeah.
But this, it was like, a much bigger head, and then like these big
horns.
And but they're like actual, like, part of the dude's
fleshy
head.
horns.
Yes, gross. It grossed me out. It made me uncomfortable. So I didn't care for his redesign, but I thought the fight was really good. There's a lot more like trash talking on Steppenwolf's part, goading on Wonder Woman. There's a great scene. I love that scene where Barry, Barry has to reverse time because he messes up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I gotta break the rule. And he does his thing, and it sets up for that kind of nightmare, or no, that vision he has in the Batcave in Bruce has in Batman vs Superman, where he sees Mustachio Barry.
Yes.
And he's like telling him, Lois is the key.
Yep.
And you don't really know what's going on.
I thought he brought Batman to lose the keys.
Yeah, what? What? Now that lightning's loud, bro. It's hard to hear over that mustache. No, I thought the fight was great. The spoiler reveal of Darkseid at the end, on Apocalypse was excellent. You saw Granny Goodness and Desaad and more legions. I mean, it was fantastic. Granny Goodness kind of looked like Judi Dench, but you could tell it was like a CG look for Granny Goodness. But I was like, oh, I think they were trying to make it look like Judi Dench, which is awesome.
That is cool.
Judi Dench would be a great Granny Goodness.
That is cool. Oh, totally.
If she could get into it, I don't know if she could get into it.
No, probably not.
Because even in the cartoon where they had Granny Goodness a lot.
She was awesome.
Yeah, and it was oh my god, it was a male voice actor for Granny, and it was so funny.
B. Arthur?
It wasn't B. Arthur, no. It wasn't the Femputer, right? But guys, I enjoyed it. I can wash my hands of it. I feel great that I enjoyed it. But kids, what did I say is the worst thing that could happen?
Oh yeah, because we get to the end.
Because we get to the end, and after they tie this thing up with a bow, we get kind of this nightmare future scenario again, because Bruce has, been having these prophetic dreams, more or less. We see a very different team of heroes. We see Batman, okay, Flash, all right, Cyborg, Deathstroke, Mira, and the Joker. Guys, this is arguably, it's up there with one of my favorite Joker scenes ever. Him talking to Batman. They had and this was a new thing that they shot. Mm-hmm. Just for the Snyder Cut, and apparently, Ben Affleck and Jared Leto aren't even in the same room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not even in the same room. They filmed them separately.
Probably because of the COVID.
Yeah, either COVID or I know Ben Affleck had gone back and shot some, but they probably couldn't get on the same schedule.
Oh, gotcha.
And just a great Joker scene, and he's part of this team, and he's poking at Bruce, and it was so good. Did I say Deathstroke? I don't even know if I said Deathstroke.
You did. Deathstroke is there though,
and it was awesome, and I want to see more, and that's what I'm getting at. My worst case scenario was that it's good, and then we don't get anything else from it.
Yep.
They don't restore the Snyderverse. They've said adamantly that they're this is it.
This is it.
They even said to the I don't know if it was Walter Hamada or somebody else over at Warner Brothers, but they said that the Snyder Cut is a cul-de-sac. It's not a continuous road.
Right. Which is a bummer because the end credit scene, like you mentioned, has some amazing quotes from Joker. Yeah. Sets up a lot of world building here.
Yes. Go
ahead.
And,
the best line for me was...
he's talking about loss. Is that the thing you're talking about? Yeah, Mira is alluding to, we know that Arthur's been killed. Yeah. And we're like, I'm going to make him pay. And we think that they're talking about Darkseid, but they're actually talking about Superman. And he's saying, he's kind of telling Mira, hey, this isn't a revenge thing. We gotta kill him and get this over with. And she's like, what do you know about loss? And the Joker is basically saying, oh, he knows a lot about loss. The loss of a mother, the loss of a father, the loss of a adopted son. And he even says, he's keeps kind of poking at Batman. He's like, I never understood why you would send a boy wonder to do a man's job. It's like, oh, dang. It was really good. You guys know I'm a big fan of the Leto Joker. And seeing this just really makes me want more of that character. Yep. And all this, this is like a thank you and an F you by Snyder.
Which you could get. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah. It's double-edged.
It very much is. Yeah. And honestly, I get the FU part because that's what happens when you don't have faith.
Yeah.
You get the big FU.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks because, like you said, we finally kind of get the nightmare scenario fleshed out finally.
A little bit more.
A little bit more. Yeah. This takes place when Darkseid comes back.
Yes.
We can assume Lois is dead, or she is dead.
Yeah, she is dead. So that's what Barry is talking about when he goes back in time.
You got to keep her
she's
safe.
The key.
Yeah. So either Darkseid has I'm going to just say he's manipulated Clark in his weakened state during Lois's death, like saying, "Hey, this is what they think of you. I didn't take her from you. They did," or something like that. And it turns Clark.
Yeah.
And I think I'm kind of sad because I wanted some more Joe Manganiello Deathstroke.
Yeah. And he's got that.
You're looking scrumptious, by the way.
Yeah, just a snack, a man.
I wanted to see him and Batfleck throw down.
Yeah,
I wanted that so bad.
God, I want a Deathstroke Batman fight live action.
Yeah,
more than what I've seen on YouTube.
What could have been.
I know. So I mean, this thing was. I don't know if it was profitable, but it was good because I don't know how many people like.
I don't know how streams.
I don't know. I don't know how you count that.
Yeah,
but never crossed them though. I know that. It was much better than I thought it was going to be, and with good reason. I could see why, because I guess Zach's never seen Joss's cut, and
I wouldn't either.
His friends and family were like, "Dude, don't watch that movie."
Yeah, it's gonna make you sad.
Yeah, so
we need 2 deaths in the family.
Oh Jesus Christ, kids, that's our show. If you like what we're doing and not him, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the button so that you know when we have new. Yeah, don't give up. All right, just get down.
That was my line.
No, you shouldn't have set me up for it. Eric, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Nope.
You got nothing. Yeah, you got nothing now. That's what you get. Kids, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I've been your host, Roman Chavez.
I am still Eric Icarus.
And we'll catch you on the next podcast.